I'm live, it says. I got to turn on the light. There we go. That's better. Get the movie lights going. Gotta try to look like a movie star. Well, hello, everyone. Jeez. Oh, there goes my alarm. Stop. To remind me to log in. Sometimes I get so distracted. I was just writing, and I just lose track of time when I'm doing that. When I'm in the middle of writing, I just kind of get in my zone. Okay, wait, let's see. We got Pepper, of course. Pepper, you're almost done, right? Is today the last day, the 29th? Something like that rings a bell, the 29th. Ed Hook, good to see you. Good morning, America. Peter, good to see you again, as always. You got the blues. Yeah, we're going to work on that. Let's see. Hey, let's see. David, good to see you. David, you're in Glasgow, I believe. Bonnie Lee and Jim's here, both in separate rooms. Let's see. No, they could be in the same room. Joe Qwerty, I want a curl. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Bonnie Lee. Oh, David, you're here. David, I played your tune. It's nice. And I sent you, I think, an email. I said you could also, if you wanted to, because you were doing like a eighth note, like something like that. You could do. If you wanted to make it sound faster, you just play 8th or 16th notes instead of 8th notes, and that's kind of a cheater way. In fact, I just did that. We're working on this cartoon. Was it yesterday? It was the day before yesterday, and one of the gags is "Hail to the Chief," and it's Trump and in the White House. It's a cartoon, keep in mind. And also like Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders and all that. So, and it was like this crazy version of Hail to the Chief. And the director, after, this was like 2 months ago we did this, after the director said, just yesterday, the director, 2 days ago, the director said, can you make it faster? And the composer kind of said, what can we do to make this faster, this section faster after something happens in the video? And I said, just go double time on the drums. So we don't have to re-record it. I mean, I think the director thought we would have to re-record and do it all over again. But ultimately, if you just go, and the drums are boom, pat, boom, pat, boom, pat, like that, you go double time. You go boom, pat, boom, pat, boom, pat. And that's all you have to do, and the whole song sounds faster. And then I did some like stuff on it. I forget what it was. It was an F sharp too. It was like not the best. Hail to the thief. That's a Radiohead song. Hail to the Chief. I did some kind of like Eddie Van Halen F sharp riff in there, and that was pretty. The composer said perfect. Send it on. We'll see. Yeah, the Dobro's out. Although I just put it back. Sorry, Jim. So, let's see. Diane's here. Who else? Sorry, I'll get through these. Got a lot of the regulars. Are all the regulars here? I haven't seen Verdi yet. Bruce is here. Bruce, I got your messages. And check them out. Yeah, and I know how to play in. I can play in any tuning. I know how to play 3 strings. Yeah, so that's not going to be a problem. I've got a lot of guitars strung up with 3 strings. So that won't be a problem. And I'll probably string it up in weird ways too, as I see fit. But the 3-string way seems like one of the funnest ways to do it. So, and no third in there. So you just go root 5th root. We're talking about the cigar box guitar that Bruce is making for me. Roger's here. Roger the engineer and consultant. Let's see. Oh, Pepper, did you answer my question about how isn't your last? Sorry. Let's see. I got to catch up here. Keith is here. Good to see you. AJ's here. The official scribe. Baka Cat. Good morning. Good afternoon, Tom, and everyone. Kitty finally got here just in time. Let's see. Great time Great line from Widespread Panic. My wife's got the blues, and now I've got them too. Yes, right. Happy wife, happy life. I subscribe to that theorem. Okay, it jumps down funny when I'm going through these. Art is in today again. Good to see you, Art. I'm going to miss somebody. Kathy's here. Kathy, you didn't say anything for a while though. You were late. Sorry, I'm late. I had a headache for the last 2 days. No, I'm the reason for the headache. I'm the headache. Let's see. I decided to make coffee at the last minute. Third huge one today. It should help. I mean, I actually woke up with a headache this morning because I forgot to turn on my humidifier last night in the bedroom. I woke up with a headache, and so I took Vanquish helps. So Vanquish is just aspirin, some kind of, I don't know if it's ibuprofen or, so one of you will know that, or if it's the other one, acetaminophen. I think it's acetaminophen with caffeine, if I'm not mistaken. So it kind of goes right to the headache. Let's see. And I think, Pepper, don't you have migraines sometimes? You have a medicine that you recommend for those? Okay, so we're getting through everybody. True Blue is back in the house. Walter's here. Yo, Walter, what's up? It's a series. We've been talking about it. It's called it's really, really, really good. It's called The Bureau, and it's kind of a spy, like a CIA thing. So let's see. Oh, and Helen's here. All right. Well, so we're gonna. Yeah. Well, I knew Walter was gonna be here because he got his guitar strung up last night. And we're going to start. Basically what we're going to do is just basically learn 3 simple chords that you already, hopefully you may know, you may not know. And then we are going to really, really try to make sure that you play the blues in 12-bar form and stick to it. So this would be technically called the 12-bar blues. There are 8-bar blues, there are 16-bar blues, but the real common phrasing for the blues is probably the most common phrasing is the 12-bar blues. And there are just even using 3 basic chords, I can order the chords in such a way where we have a super simple version where you're not changing chords very much, a moderately simple version, and a more complex version. And then let's see. Oh, okay, we're getting the migraine stuff taken care of. So anybody has migraine issues, check out those 3. It's a very, very helpful over here. It's a very helpful community. So we're already at 34 people. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started, I think. So what I'm going to do is I printed up this sheet. Okay. And then what I'll do is once I fill this out, because I got some spot for chords and I got music and tab. I'm not going to be doing any tabbing today. I'm going to basically just be writing out bars, and we're going to count through 12 bars. And so it's, and the reason we're going to really try to hammer this home with very simple chords is because I want you to be able to accompany someone. Nothing's more frustrating than trying to solo with someone who can't keep track of where they are in the song. They keep getting lost, or they take away a bar and it's an 11-bar blues. And what the most common thing to happen in the 12-bar blues is for you to make it a 10-bar blues. When you get back to the 1 chord, you think you're at the top of the song and you're not. You still got 2 more bars. So that's the main thing. We got to really hammer that home. So we're going to keep it real simple. And in some ways, the simpler version is the harder one to not get lost in, because you are going to be sitting on that E chord for so long. And we're going to do blues in E. And I'm going to use, I need a pick. Here, I'll use this one. Use my acoustic. Let me tune real quick just to make sure. Tune, and then you can play along at home, as we say. And then Kathy will keep track. Thank you, Kathy, of any questions that come by. Happy to answer questions. I will, and just know that I'm going to talk beyond the lesson. So if you have a question that's unrelated to what I just said or I'm about to say or whatever, then save it for the end if you can. Otherwise, it's a squirrel moment for me. Right, Kathy? Right, everybody? Right? Is Gary here? I don't see Gary yet. Yeah, hydration. I'm really bad with hydration. I need to do that. I need to drink more water, as they say. Walter Michigo's always giving me a hard time about that. Okay, so I'm basically tuned. We're going to play. There's 3 chords we're going to use. We're going to go right to the 7th chords. I'm going to get my footrest out so I can get my guitar a little higher so you can see it. And then we're not going to, the strumming pattern, we're just going to strum quarter notes. So it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to change, you know. But actually, we're not even going to change there. It's going to be simpler than that. So, but we're going to have the E7, the A7, and then the B7. Okay. Sorry, just want to be in tune so we can be together. So I am tuned at A440. So those of you in Europe, sorry, we're not going to go A444. They tune sharper in Europe. The orchestras are sharper in Europe. When they're doing sessions for American composers or American, you know, online stuff, or you go there to do sessions, they will do A440. But my understanding is that generally when orchestras play, they play in A444, and there's a reason for that. Because the organs in churches in Europe are tuned to A444, which is actually really interesting. But that was one of the coolest things we did in Europe one time. Was on Easter we went to a church, not Notre Dame, but a different church in Paris. I'll look it up in a second. And the only reason I went there is because Rick Steves, who's great resource for getting around Europe on the cheap, which is with 3 kids and musicians' income, you don't have a choice. And so one of the things he said was that you could go up in the loft, and they had a little gallery there, just like maybe 20 seats where you could watch the organist do his thing. And he was like the most famous organist in Europe. And it was really fascinating because he had 2 different organs he was controlling, one for the front of the church and one for the back of the church. And they had 2 different choirs, and he was accompanying both choirs like they were doing this call and response thing on the org, in the room for Easter. It was really, really cool. Okay. So 3 chords I'm going to write out. And then B7 is going to be the hardest one. It's kind of a 4-finger chord. Yeah, Rick Steves is great. I just like watching his shows too. We're hoping to go to, maybe do a couple, like 4 days in Budapest and 4 days in Prague, maybe next year. I would love to do that. Been wanting to go to Eastern Europe, haven't done that yet. Also need to go to Sweden, and I want to go to Iceland. Everyone I know that's been to Iceland has said it's their favorite. Okay, so here's the 3 chords if you want to do a quick screenshot. E7, A7, and B7. All right. And the way they are played. That was cool. I made a. Okay, so squirrel. Squirrel. Ab's here. AB is here. Dennis, you're here. Bob's here. Wow. Okay, everybody's getting here now. So E7 is open E string. 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Open D string. 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Open B string and open E string. Okay. And try to keep your thumb around a little bit, because if you bring it too far up here, you might deaden that D string or the B string. So the more you bring your thumb around, and you got to make sure your nails are short. The more you bring your thumb around, the more arch you're going to come at. I mean, ultimately, if you could come at the strings like this, you wouldn't ever mute another string with your finger. You'd just be playing the one string. So that's kind of the idea, is to have a good arch and make sure that your fingers aren't touching other strings, so that all ring out. Now, here's one of the tests you want to do, is just go through and pluck each string individually like that and see if they're all ringing out. And if they aren't all ringing out, it's all right. You can work on that later, okay? Now, A7 is the next chord, and you just move your 2nd finger down a string, take off your 1st finger, and we're going to add our 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So it's nothing down here. We're gonna play the fifth string down. So we're not gonna play the sixth string. It's interesting because I know Walter's here, and so what that's making me do is go a little bit more basic, which is a good thing. So I'm almost feel like I'm telling myself to talk to him. Hey, Jan, you're new. Good to see you. And Jim's back. Jim Horst. Good to see you. Uh-oh. Weird. Sound is choppy. Everybody's having that problem. Okay. Let me check. See, I'm not uploading anything. No, I'm not. Okay. Let me just check. Walter's lost already. Sorry, Walter. And we talked about this the other day. And Walter, maybe you should do the same thing. I think I'm gonna create a new playlist where I'm gonna create a progressive thing that's gonna start out super duper basic, and each lesson I'm probably gonna keep under 10 minutes. And you basically, it's kind of like taking private lessons from me, and I'm gonna teach a little bit of tab. The only thing I won't be able to do is teach songs. I might teach like sound-alikes, songs that kind of sound like different songs, but Walter, you could do it with drums too at the same time. You could just here's a hi-hat, click, click. Here's a kick, boom. There's the one lesson right there. So the A7 chord is nothing on the bottom string, open A string, then second fret on the fourth string, open G string, second fret on the second string, and open. Okay, and it looks like this on the diagram thing. Okay, sounds good now. Okay, good. Everybody, I can check my buffering, but I'm afraid that not my buffering, but my speed, upload speed. But I'm afraid that would buffer everybody. Yeah, well, we'll do the Dennis. We'll do the Sesame Street theme. Not today. We'll maybe get to that tomorrow because we're going to do variations on the blues. Today we're just going to work on the rhythm part. We're going to keep it real simple. And then the B7 chord. So the A7 is like this. If you just take those two fingers, your second and third finger, up towards the ceiling, so down a string, technically, pitch-wise, we're going down. You do that, and then you put your first finger on the fourth fret, and then first fret. So I'm going to run through these. Nothing on the bottom string, and then second fret, first fret, second fret, open, second. Okay, so in review, written this way, that's E7. Oh, I got to actually click in the window to type something. Who knew? 7. There's E7. All right. Here's A7. These are all frets. Frets, not fingers. And then the last one was the B7 one, which is the most difficult of them. Oops. And this is B7. E7, A7, and B7. Okay. Now, if you want, we could go for E, just play the low E string, open. Okay. That would be E. Like Walter, if you can't make those chords yet, and I totally understand that. All right. Just do this part. Okay. So you're going to be a bass player and you're going to play on one string. The E is on open E string. So you can just go, when we're playing quarter notes, you just go boom, 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 boom. Okay. And, so if we have 4 bars of E, we're going to hit that 16 times. The rhythm aspect of it, I don't have to slow down for you on. I know that. Okay. Check the microphone connection. Really? Huh. It's lighting up green here. Let me turn it off and on again. Oh, it is very steady. Okay. Hold on. Did that make it better? Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. So Paul Becker's hearing it fine. So it's somewhere in the. Yeah, Max. Here's the chords right here. If you want to take a screenshot real quick, do that now, and then I'll post these after we're done. Actually, you know what? I can put it on the Discord right now. Well, let me finish. Let me write the let me write out the bars first, okay? So so we can have it all on one piece of paper. I'll do that right now. But Walter, or anyone who can't play the chords yet, you can at least start hammering in the form of a standard 12-bar blues, a very basic 12-bar blues. Hammer it into your head. So for the E chord, you play the open E string. For the A chord, just play the fifth fret of the bottom string. That would be A. And then for the B chord, just play the 7th fret. So you'd be like a bass player in this situation there, okay? E open, and then when we go to the 4 chord, that's the 5th fret. And when we go to the 5 chord, that would be the 7th fret, okay? Yeah, it may be somewhere in the connection, like between, like at the Mississippi. So, because I know Paul Becker's in here, pants confirmed, yes. Paul Becker's in California, I believe, and he said it sounded okay. Diane, you're on the east side of this country, right? I'm the static. I'm the source of the static. Okay, let's see. Well, oh, did I? What? No, no. Oh, you have some notation that shows, yeah, that would be A minor 7. A minor 7, Peter, that would be 02010, starting on the 5th string. That would be A minor 7. That not A7. A7 would be, we want a C sharp in it. Okay, so these are all the same chords. These are, an E major triad with a. So remember our chord theory. These are all three of these are major third, minor third, minor third. That's what makes up a dominant 7th chord. Okay, so let me write out the bars. Okay. And I'm going to do it here in the middle. So E, ooh, then A for 2, and back to E, and then to B for 2, and then back to E. This is a very, very simple blues progression. I could make one simple change or two simple changes to make it a little bit more complex, but here's the progression we're going to do. We're going to go E for 4 bars, A for 2 bars, E for 2 bars, B for let's see, 2 bars, and E for 2 bars. Oh, good. David is better now. Maybe it fixed. But hopefully there was more static on the mic. I have not done anything to anything since yesterday. I just touched my face so we can all take a drink. Cheers. Where's my water? I'm getting low on coffee. I'll take baby sips. Okay, so let me scan this and post this to the Discord right now, and then we're gonna start playing it. And we're gonna go real slow. And if you can play along, great. If you can't, just play the bass note, like I said, and that way you're getting the most important thing right now is to get the form in your head so you hear it and you play it consistent every time. And that way, when you're playing, it's twofold. One, when you're accompanying someone, they don't get frustrated with you because you mess up and do it different every time. And then the other thing, the gain level on my mic is the same as it always is. I'm not using any. Yeah, I'm not running it through anything. So, and then the second reason is to start to hear what chord's coming up next in your head. So when you're soloing, you can really anticipate. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Discord and here, and I'll create a link for you guys to go to. So if you haven't joined the Discord yet, here's the. We just started, Leo. We just started. Okay, there's the Discord link, and then let's see, exit. I'm going to save this blues one. This is blues paperwork number 1. Let me put it in our normal folder, and then I'll get it there. Sorry. Hey, this is the most exciting show ever. Watching Tom do paperwork. And I got to do a bunch today. Okay. So, Discord. I posted the Discord link. Okay. And then I'm going to put this in the homework, right, Kathy? Is that right? So homework blues 1. Okay. It's up there now, or it will be in about 5 seconds. Okay. It says it's up there now. Yes, all dominants on those chords. So here again is one more time. I'm going to put this up here so you can do a screenshot if you want to. The form is there. I'm going to back it up a little bit. All right. Now, each one of these things is a bar, so we'll do 4 strums per bar. Yeah, Alan, I agree 100%. The 12 bars can be tweaked. This is like I'm really doing the most watered down version of blues you can do. Okay, I could definitely put the A chord here and go back to the E chord, and I could put the A chord there, and I could go back to the B chord here. There's all sorts of things we could do. I could do a diminished chord here. It's there's all sorts of variations. And what I'm going to do is we're going to do this basic one, and then we're going to make it a little bit more complex. The idea is for you to kind of get it down. So again, here are the chords: E7. So open, 2, open, 1, open, open. Oh, David had a question. Sorry. Do you have a link for that chord diagram and staff tab sheet? Oh, yes. Hold on. I think so. David, for the blank this, I'm going to post a link here where you can go get that. I know I have the link for the one of them, and then you can just maybe, let's see. I don't know if I saved that one. It's in that folder though. Desktop. Where are you? Okay. Boom, ba-doom. Was it this one? I don't know. Sorry, I gotta find it. Oh, it's in French. Where did I find this? Here, I have to click the little English flag to get the. There we go. Tools. I don't think this was the one. Okay, so hold on. It was this one, and yet it's the simpler version of this. Oh, it was the same. Well, I was right. Okay, so I just got to go down, scroll down, and find it. Isn't this exciting? Blank sheet music, piano, guitar chord charts. Let's see what we got here. No, I think it was here. It's a pretty cool website, though. There's a lot of resources here. Yes, I found it. Okay, so here's the link to the kind of the homepage of it, so you can have. I should have sent this originally. I'll also put this on the Discord right now. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I mean, it got up to like 47, and it's just like because I'm just like. Should I do my? Oh, Gary's got a question too. Tom, do you have any magic formula for avoiding tendonitis? Pickingham form. It may be an ergonomics thing if you can change some ergonomics, how you sit. Forearm pain also could be related to pinched nerve in your neck. Believe it or not. Question I have for you is the pain at all minimized? Does it feel better if you rub it? Because if it's a radiated pain coming from a pinched nerve, and touching the back of my neck does not count as touching my face, people. So don't take a sip. Verdi, where's Verdi? Have we seen Verdi? We're worried. But if you can't, if it's not, like I learned that when I had pinched nerve and felt like a knife was in my shoulder. I would rub it and rub it and rub it, and it wouldn't feel any better. It was like weird. It was like, what the heck? And then I found out it was a radiating pen, so the pain wasn't actually there, or wasn't coming from there. All right, so there's the iMusic School site that has all of the things, and I'll go ahead and post this on the Discord as well. I'll just put this. Oh, I'll just put it in homework. Okay, there it is. Boom. That's a really helpful site. So I'll keep it open in case I need it again. But you can print up a bunch of these blank versions of these. I don't know if they have a version without the tab. I wouldn't mind just having one that was the chords and music without the tab. But basically, you can see that's 12 bars, right? There's 4 times 3 is 12. So there's our 12-bar blues. Okay, so I think I got questions taken care of. Let's get back to the chords. So E7, open, 2nd fret, open, 1st fret, open, open. And then for anybody who can't make the chord changes fast enough, you can just do the bottom string open. Okay, the next chord is A7. And I'm using my 2nd and 3rd finger. And nothing on the bottom string, then it's open, 2nd, open, 2nd, open. If somebody wants to write the numbers that are in there, that would be great. And then B7 would be nothing, and then 2nd, 1st, 2nd, open, 2nd. So 2, 1, 2, 0, 2. Okay, so there's our B7. Here's our E7. B7. Okay. Now, if you can't play those chords or can't change them fast enough, you can just go E. And then when we get to the A, you play 5th fret. You can even use your 1st finger if you want. I would say use your 1st finger on that note. And then when you go back to E, open, obviously. And when you go to the B, let's use your 3rd finger, just to at least practice using more than one finger. And if we were doing a more complex version, we would have an A and a B next to each other at least once in the blues. So you would have to do this anyway. And it's just better than going, play over the top too. All right. All right. Now, this is going to be really hard for me because I don't want to get bored. I get bored and halfway through just start. And I run the risk of getting lost in the progression. But we're going to go fairly slow. Let me put a metronome on. I think we'll do maybe 80. Okay. For some of you, that might be really slow. And if you want, if this is way too easy for you, then what you can do is you can play other chords. Okay, you can play more complex bar chords or whatever. Or heck, if this is super easy for you, then I'm just going to be basically creating a live jam track. I will also post a jam track. I'm not sure how fast it is, but when Alex and I did a video on playing with others, we did 2 videos. We did one video, but I think I did 2 jam-along tracks. One was the bluegrass jam-along, which is the first one that's gotten so much play. And then I also did a blues one, but hopefully that was in E, because this is what we're going to work on. Okay, there's the quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. A7, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. E7, 2, 3, 4. D7. E7. 1. Top of the song, E7. 1. 2. 3. 4. A7. Shoot. E7. E7 coming up. E7. Okay, let me start again. And okay, so you can see where you're sitting on the E7 for 2 bars, and then the E7 you have to go back to the top and do 6 more bars. That's where. Okay, so Hook, you're still not having any problem. So yeah, I don't think it's me. Although I do notice that when music is being played on through streaming, it's a lot more distorted. But we've been doing music this whole time. When I'm talking, it's a lot less distorted than when I'm playing. I've noticed, but yeah, and it may. Jim Lee's saying it's not audio, it's bad compression artifacts. Probably YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I have the microphone set at the same level. I haven't touched anything. I generally turn on my Logic so that I have it on in case I want to play something. So nothing has changed there. Yeah, I haven't changed anything. So, all right. Sorry about this. I wonder if it's going to be staticky on the playback. It shouldn't be, because if you're hearing it in California, not crackling. So, okay. Yeah. So, I'm going to do this again. Let me see if that's as loud as it goes. Yeah, pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 2, 3. A7. And B7. 3, 1, 2, E7. God, stop. I hate. Yeah. That's hilarious. You probably heard that. Okay, so top squirrel. Why? That's so weird that I hate that it. I thought I disconnected it from my my computer, but it rang in the computer. Hate that. 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 2. There we go. A7. 2 bars of A7. E7 for 2 more bars. B7 for 2. E7 for 2. Back to the top. E7 for 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. A7, 3, 4. Now. E7, 3, 4. Now. Get ready for B7, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. One more bar. 1. Top. 4 bars of E. Now. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. A7. E7 for 2 bars. And then E7. Okay, and stop. That would be the end there. Do you see what I'm saying? We're at the end of the song. It feels like you're ready. When you get to this E7 here, you feel like it's the beginning of the song again. Okay, that's what you have to resist. Now, that's only if you're doing it this complex way. I mean, sorry, complex. Very, 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 very simple way. This is like almost like a skeleton of the blues. From this, we can build on it. And I think let's do this. The hard part is that I guess, you know what? I could put it on my music stand over here. That might actually work. I mean, actually using the fat, I don't know. It might be too far away. for YouTube. It looks clear on mine, but of course I'm getting the direct signal. So, but one of the things that we could do to make this a little bit harder to get lost in, easier not to get lost in, however you want to say that, is to put a B here. And that is what would be called the turnaround. The turnaround in a blues is usually the last bar, sometimes the last two bars. But like one thing we could do is put an A here and then back to E. So we're just inserting an A for one bar. And I'll show you, I'll play it for you so you can hear it. And then these 4 bars would stay the same for now. And then we could put an A here and a B here. So you would have a different chord in each bar here. So let me play I'll play it faster so we don't have to, but like. Now what? See, now it's a little bit easier to hear where the changes. So what this requires, and we can still keep the tempo at 80, what this requires is for you to change chords more. So if you're not having a problem with changing chords, what I'll do is I'll write these new chords, but I'll put them in parentheses, okay? So that you can stick with the old ones. The only thing is I'm playing an A7 and you're playing an E7. It's not going to sound right. So if you can go ahead and make the changes, do it. So ultimately, we only really changed 3 things. Yes, this is a 1-4-5 progression, exactly. E is the 1, A is the 4, and B is the 5. So now we have E for 4 beats, A for 4 beats, and then E for 8 beats. In other words, 2 bars of 4. And then we have 8 beats of A, 8 beats of E. We have 4 of B7, 4 of A7, 4 of V7, and then B7, this is that turnaround, okay? And obviously, you understand the idea, the concept, turning around back to the top. That's the turn. And a lot of, I mean, I would never say I'm a blues guitar player. I always thought blues was easy, right? I always thought, oh, blues is easy. And so until I played in a blues band. And when you play in a bar in a blues band for like 3 hours, you realize you only have about 5 licks, and everything is kind of you got to make those 5 licks work a lot more. My friend Carl Verheyen is a great blues guitar player. He's made a complete study out of all these great players. So okay, there's so much mess on here. I'm gonna try to get rid of everything here. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but look at all this stuff we've been doing. Oh, look, I got another one of these. That's cool. All right. So let's see if that, yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Let me get it a little closer. Let me see how I don't want to bang my elbow into her and knock it over, although you can't see that, can you? No, it's not a sip talking about blues band. You guys are pathetic. Now, how do I turn off this? See, I don't want my phone ringing in my computer. I thought I turned that off. Let's see. I know what I got to do. Sorry, I think I have to go to FaceTime because I used FaceTime for my lesson with Cruzy the other day. And what I need to do is go to Preferences and Disable. Okay, there we go. Boom, done. Okay, hopefully it won't work. Don't call me, Walter. Walter's going to call me right now. Dang it. Yeah, that wasn't, well, I don't know who that was. That wasn't Walter that called. All right. Oh, awesome, Kathy. I'm so glad. Okay, so let's, my head stuck's in the way. How am I going to do this? This is so lame. I gotta. So today I'm going to sit down. Walter hit me to this OBS software, and it looks like it could be really cool because I can have scene changes. So I could have a graphic ready to go and just go up and down and hit the scene. Brilliant. I could tell that there was the ability to actually put something up here or over here, because I know guys that do that. They have stuff all around them, and they take their video and they make it smaller and all that. So I'm gonna try to get that down because I think it would be really, really helpful when we're doing this that you be able to see the chords. If you can't, oh, you know what? I'm gonna rescan this and put it in Discord. But if you got the capability of downloading that Discord, go to Discord right now. It's already up there. And then here's that Discord address again. If you don't have it, we're putting stuff up on Discord. So like any of the files that I'm creating here, I'm trying to scan and put up in Discord for you. I need OBS, exactly, Walter. Well, I have it. I downloaded it, and I got it to work. I got everything logged in, and everything's great. I'm going to have to do a test run. I might do like a private test run for like Kathy, if you don't mind. You know, we can set up a time to do that where I just have a private video that I send links to. Jim Lee, you're celebrating today, resting. So you're done, Pepper? Is that what I... Okay, so here's exit. Okay, let's delete this one. No, I just want this one. Blues 2. Okay, save. And then go to Discord and upload it. Okay, that's there. Go to the homework, upload Blues 2. So this is just the exact same thing I uploaded before, except now it has the other chords in there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play this one. We're going to go slow on this. I'll call out the chords like I've been doing. I'm multitasking big time here. Okay. So the 3 chords again are E7. We're using all 7th chords because that just sounds better for blues. A7 and B7. And this way we don't have to play a B chord. So, and the reason I'm showing you the key V is because we're going to learn real soon. We're going to learn a pentatonic scale and a blues scale, and then we may start learning some mixolydian scales and things like that. So we're going to try to have some fun with this for more than a few days. Okay. So here we go. E7 is the first chord. Where's my chart? Not that I need it, but I just want to make sure I don't. Oh, I'm going to put it here. It's just in case you could see it. I did not see if anyone said they could see it. Oh, on the fingerings stump. You mean of the fingerings here? You can see that I wrote the fingerings underneath the chord diagrams. So, but yeah, I see what you're saying for up in the corner or something like that. Yeah. So here we go. E7. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, let me use this so I don't go too fast. 2, 3, 4. E7. 1. A7. E7 for 8. 1, 2, 3. A7 for 8 strums. Back to E7. E7. 2, 3, 4 now. A7. E7. 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 A7. E7 for 2 bars. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. A7. Walter, I'm getting ahead of the beat. My metronome. E7. B7. 1 bar. A7. E7. B7. Okay, let's go to the simple one. E7 for 4 bars. 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. A7. E7. E7. Oh, sorry, I did the other B7. I went to the complex one. I'm reading comments. Okay. So I got some questions there I got to answer. Kathy, the thing I was saying was to you was that I want to try this OBS software. I got it synced with, connected with YouTube, but I want to try to do a live, a live run through, and check and see how, I could have if Pepper's done with school, I could have her, anybody, I don't want to just go live with the software for the first time and not have it work, because not at 11 o'clock. I could do it later today and just see who shows up and see if I can get it working. I may do that. So, and now you were asking me about please show the finger picking PDF 1617. Can you show finger picking? Okay, let me see what those are. Can I hold them up? Oh, because you're not on Discord? Yeah, I just threw them on the floor. Everything's on the floor. Not sure where such a mess. I mean, I don't have them numbered on here, so I think the 16 and 17 were. I think this was 17. So this was the Travis. Is that what you want, Leo? Bonnie's got a question too. It is the song that never ends. Well, no, Bonnie, what you do is after you do the turnaround, you end on the 1 chord. Okay. So the last 12 bar blues would be a 13 bar blues. Okay. So if you are doing so here's the last 4 bars right here: B7, A7, E7, B7, and then you would end on E7. So, like, and often what the singers would do, like blues would be like, so, there'd be some lyric here, and then they'd repeat the lyric here, and then there'd be another lyric here that would kind of reply to that, like, my I've got a mean woman blues. And then you go, I got a mean woman blues, and then she's so mean, etc. Oh, my baby left. Exactly. So also A7, one A7 you could do, which is I really kind of like, is adding the G on top. So when you come, especially here, when you go B7, okay, to A7, I like the sound of that. We got that F sharp to the E. That would be a turnaround. You've heard those a million. Those are turnarounds. Okay. Then I had another question from Chris. Can you play the blues with Dadgad? Sure. Can I? No. I mean, I could. You would have to. Who's working in my backyard? The squirrels in my backyard. Gary, get your gun. Oh, you're on disc. Oh, to see them, don't want to. Oh, yeah, that's the Travis. One's the Travis and one's the Giuliani. One would be more classical way of doing it. The patterns here, Leo, are these are right hand fingerings. Okay, that's not where you are on the fretboard. These are right hand. Sometimes you can use tab to notate patterns over here. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Okay. The other one was, let me see, that was 17. 16 would have been this one. This also had tab. So and that was kind of more we were doing kind of a Travis thing where we're having fun separating, doing kind of a swing E7, G7 thing. So hopefully that helps a little bit. But as far as doing blues and Dadgad, of course, yeah, you can always add more notes to the chords, David. As far as playing in Dadgad, though, Chris, to answer your question, yeah, you could totally play blues in Dadgad. There's no reason why you couldn't do it. You're just going to have to know all the scales in Dadgad. Because if you're going to play chords only, then just know the chord. As long as you know how to play the chords you want to play. If you're in Dadgad, you're probably going to want to play in D, though. We're going to be doing E, so it probably won't work for you to be in Dadgad while we are doing this. Eric B., what's going on? Oh, Slovenia. Well, welcome, Eric B. Glad to have you here. Tom suggests the OBS test run be done with several folks in widely spaced locations. Yeah, I probably will just log back on later today if I can get it up and running, and then whoever's on, we can just do a test and see how it's working. The session. It was good. The session went good yesterday, right, Walter? We were just filming services. Okay, so and David, and that's the thing, you could totally break up the monotony of those chords by doing 13ths and 9ths and things like that. And we'll get to that. I mean, I have, we got the Stormy Monday progression. I always like, I always play when it was like. That would be like a jazz blues, maybe a bebop blues or something like that. So you got I got 13th chords there. I'm doing lots of neighboring chords. One thing you could do too on the A7, on the second bar of A7 here, if you wanted to, after we go to A7, you could go to A sharp diminished 7, like that. So that would sound like this. Play it fast to get to it. And A7, A diminished. That's a very common one. Lou Green. Yep. Okay. Let's see. What else? I got any other questions? Oh, you can't find a let's see. Yeah, and I think if you really want to get good at the blues, the key is to listen to as many blues players as you can. And almost like if I were to study the blues, I would study just do different cities. Like, how do they play Chicago blues? And then, you got like a Texas blues. And then, so study a guy from Chicago, then study a guy from Kansas City, then study a guy from, like Mississippi, and then study a guy from Texas, and then back to Chicago, and work your way around the country that way. And that way you'll get a lot of different flavors. And, there's a shuffle, which is a very, that would be more like, you can count that 12/8 instead of 4/4, right? And so there's also different feels. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to keep it real simple and just doing chop, chop, chop. Okay, so let me get back and try to do maybe 2 more times around here. And if you're already got this down, you can practice soloing over. You treat me as a jam track. Hopefully it's not as buzzy and distorted as it was before. Okay, here we go. 1, oh wait, I'm metronome. 1, 2, E7. 1, 2, A7. E7. 2. Okay, here we go. A7. E7. E7 for 4. 8. Sorry. E7 for 8. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Back to E. Same. Stay on E. Top. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. A7. E7. B7. E7. Okay, now I'm going to do the busier one. I'll call out the chords. 2, 3, top. E7. A7, E7, A7, E7 for now, to E7, A7, E7, B7. Yeah, I think it's also because I'm hitting big banging chords. It's part of the problem with YouTube. It's just for some reason compresses the crud out of chords, or I'm hitting really loud. Maybe if I hit softer. Is that any better? Playing soft. No, I don't have anything on. This is just the guitar in the room. So I wish I could hear it. And it's a bummer too, because if it's printing that way, I just make sure, I'm pretty sure nothing's going through this. Check 1, 2. I mean, I've got, that's enabled, not even enabled. So, and let me find that E7 jam track, okay? Because I did that. I think we did it in E7, or I did it in E7. Let's see. And so, so you don't have to go back to this video and let's see. It would be under playlists. I can give you. I'll put a link to all of the jam track playlists here. But let me try to find jam tracks. It's not that long ago, so I should be able to find it. Here's the link to all the jam tracks. There's a million of them. All right. And then main minor. Oh yeah, because of those. Yeah, here's a blues jam track in E for the basic guitar, and it's about 11 minutes long. And I even so it has. This is cool. It has the chords that written out, and it has a blues scale written out there on the video. So this is from over 2 years ago. It's only got like 3,000 views, but check that out. That's pretty cool. AJ says if you change the strumming pattern to down, 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 up, and you do a 2th bar switch, I'm not sure what that means. Do you have to change the strumming to down, up for that part? I'm not sure I understand that question. I know it's frustrating not having to type a question instead of just ask it outright. But if down, that would be 3/4. So you can play blues in 3/4, I guess, but that wouldn't be very common. Let's see, Dennis. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. Okay, so basically we have two different. I'm going to hold this up again, but these are up on the Discord now. Both this and the simpler version. And we will. Shoot, let me see. We will probably maybe add a chord or two to this tomorrow, or maybe try a different strumming group. Okay, and the other thing is if you can't play along with the chords, you can always just play a bass note, just so you can get that pattern. 7th bar, 8th bar, 9th bar, 11th bar, 12th bar to top. So So it feels like you're on E forever. Okay. And that's with the real simple one. If you do the little bit more complex one, which includes the notes in parentheses, I think it's easier to get not get lost, but it means you have to change chords more. Okay. Zen asked me a question a while back, I think, Zen, or was it a statement? I can't remember. So let's see. I was just doing all downs, down, 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 up, down, up. That down, down, up could be, if you're considering the ups being eighth notes, that could definitely be 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So that would be a 4/4 bar. Oh, see you later, Walter. Walter took off. Leo says it sounds good on this side. It's so funny. Chris, what did Chris say that Kathy's laughing at? Oh, the FBI has me bugged. Yeah, probably that's what's happening. I had a conversation. Well, I wasn't really a conversation. It felt like high school all over again. I was standing outside a conversation at a friend's wedding because I saw, who was it? It was Victoria Williams, who's a really good songwriter and an artist. I love her. T-Bone Burnett, who's a big producer and writer and stuff. And who else was it? It was he passed away. He was a singer. I can't think of his name, but the three of them were having a conversation, and I was like, "Well, what are they talking about?" And T-Bone was talking about like some crazy stuff, just about surveillance and everything. This was a long time ago. It was pretty funny. It was like, okay. And somebody said, "Well, couldn't you just say you're gonna do something to the president, like on your phone 1,000 times?" And see if they show up at your door, if they're really bugging your phone. And he goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Our maid's husband works for the FBI, so they can or the CIA, so they can get into our house anytime they want," or something like crazy like that. Oh, wow. Why would someone married to a CIA agent be a maid? I mean, maybe she needed extra money. I don't know. Doo-dah. Let's see. Let's see. What was there? Zen, there was a question or something you said earlier that I felt like I needed to comment on, but I don't know where it was. Oh, cool. Let's see. He was asking about the documentary. Yeah. I lost it. It's up here. Oh, here it is. Picked up a brass resonator a few weeks ago. Yeah. 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 And this one is, I bought that. That one's not expensive. That one is the Gretsch something series. It was not very expensive at all. I liked the sound of it in the store. I had to go home and get my slide because they didn't have any. So I went home and got my slide and was playing with it and liked it because I have another one that's a 1929 National Duolian. And it's really old and it's pretty buzzy and everything. It's really dope looking. Okay. I understand. Don't worry, AJ's. Let's see. If you change the strumming pattern to down, 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 up to get to the 2-bar chord, you have to change the strumming to down, up for that part. If you can make the strumming work for whatever, as long as you stay in time, it doesn't really matter what you do. I don't think. But and like I said, I was just doing all downs just to keep it super simple. Chord notes, boom, boom, boom. But ultimately, you're gonna, I was doing. I mean, when I was playing faster, I was gonna go on the, you're talking about that. I'm going down, 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 up, down. And that's just kind of to give it a little bit. And here's the other thing about that: don't stress too much about that moment you're changing chords. Change earlier than later. It's better to have, like, you'll notice when I go from E, if I did this in slow motion, it would be, I actually probably am strumming on that little upstroke that I do I am hitting all the strings open. Okay, so it's like this. Right? I'm exaggerating it, but that's pretty much what's happening, because it's more important that I land on that A7 chord when I hit 1 than it is for me to let the E ring out all the way to the end of 4. Does that make sense? So if you have to, so it's almost a way of giving yourself that second to change. Yeah, I'm doing the change on the up. But I'm doing the up even when I'm not changing. Like on the 4 bars of E, I could go. It just gives it a little shuffle, because that's not a straight 8th note. If I played that a straight 8th note, it would sound like this. Right? But I'm shuffling it. I'm giving it like a swing. We talked about swing before. So I'm doing that. So that's a lot of that's just to kind of so everybody expects to hear all the strings open when they see someone playing guitar, because it just happens enough that they don't harmonically. It doesn't even if it clashes harmonically. Okay, question from Alan. I'm ready to take questions now. Totally. So Alan, this doesn't sound too good with distortion tom. How do I play it on electric? That's funny. I generally play it clean with, I wouldn't, open strings with lots of gain and 7th chords with lots of gain, even major chords, power chords with lots of gain always sound good, even if they're open or not. But I would definitely use a cleaner tone, like a slightly crunchy tone, maybe a clean tone, but just maybe a little gain in the front end. You can get a good bluesy sound for that. But if you're going to be using a gainier tone, then you just go to bar chords or power chords. You don't. Okay. So you would maybe play power chords instead of open 7th chords, which are going to be very ringy and have a lot of overtones. And overtones are those notes that kind of go octaves and harmonics that appear. Well, distortion really brings out those harmonics. And so then it really starts to get dissonant. You're right. It does not sound good. Okay. So hopefully that answers Alan's question. Peter, Tom, when you really playing 12, oh, shoot, it's going away fast. So, what did I do? Oh, I changed guitar. Yeah, that's one of the rules. If I change guitars, you get to take a sip. Drinking game. Let's see, Peter, Tom, when you were really playing a 12 bar, when you were really playing, what was the beat you would say you were playing at? Oh, aspirational. Oh, okay. When I was just playing, what was the tempo or what was the feel? Like when I was playing faster, kind of like that. All down, 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 up, down. I mean, again, we might do this tomorrow, where we, play through the chords using the 1/4. We won't do this one. Not gonna happen. But basically, it was a swing feel is what I was doing. Down, 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 up, down, down, down. And that just, the swing is betrayed by that last upstroke right before 1. Okay. Oh, BPM of what I was doing of that. The practice we were doing was 80 BPM. That BPM, I don't know. Let me see. I can. Like this is 114. 240, yeah. Yeah, so that's 114. A little bit faster. The when I was really going fast, I mean, that was, what was it? No, I did it too fast. So, anyway, yeah, that's 240 is actually not too far from that's 278 right there. Bebop can be up in the 340 range sometimes if you're playing bebop, and definitely bebop. There were some bebop songs that were blues. That was there were definitely progressions that that a lot of the beboppers were playing over were blues progressions too. So they just took it crazy. Let's see, Max. What did Max say? I missed it. Oh, Max, can't wait till tomorrow's lesson. Well, hopefully, I don't know. I got to figure out what I'm doing. I think I will do that route. I mean, the 5, 6, 7. So let's see what else is going on. Well, can I just tell you, I love. Yeah, that was definitely Django Speed. Yeah, man, that guy was crazy. Can I just tell you how much I love you guys and how much I appreciate all of you? There are times where I get a little discouraged. It's really funny because, and I'm talking about the YouTube thing. I had someone, I don't want to say it was a troll. I think someone felt slighted. I really don't know. Thank you, David. Yeah, story time. I don't know if this is story time. This is I'm just going through something. I'm not going through anything. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I've told you before that I think I have what is it, the pheromone, the scent, and it goes through the internet too, that attracts bullies. I just always have. I got the crud beat out of me in school. I think part of that was because I was small, and part of it was just because I was like friendly to everybody. But for some reason, I would just like get beat up. So I should have learned to fight, but I just never really learned to fight. I mean, literally, a kid would come up. Have you ever been punched in the stomach before? Before I could say no, I was on the floor. I'm like, really? What the heck is that about? Now, I do have some solace in that person never ended up anywhere. Another guy that I literally, when I was it's like 6th grade or 7th grade, on Halloween, the guy cut my bag, like cut the handle of my bag with a switchblade and cut my thumb in the process. I still have the scar, and took my candy. And it's like, what, why? And so, I think it comes out sometimes that like there's something about a personality that attracts those bullies. And that person, the thing is, I know that person's in prison now, which is like not for cutting and stealing someone's candy though. Yeah, bullies, but at the same time, I mean, I think I'm a large part of who I am because of that. And I've always been able to generally been able to deflect it. I kind of prescribe or subscribe to the adage, was it Abraham Lincoln adage that do I not defeat my enemies when I make them my friends? And so that's what I've always tried to do, is just be friends with everybody. And whether they like me or don't like me or even hate me, I still try to be friends with them. And so, sometimes you can disarm a bully by doing something nice for them. And then the next thing you know, and oftentimes what would happen is the people that were the meanest to me at the beginning of the year were like my defenders at the end of the year. And nothing really changed in how I did things. I was just the same person the entire year, but they changed. And so I wouldn't consider this necessarily bullying, but I have to learn to not engage. So I had someone, and I'm not running the risk. I don't feel like it's any risk. In fact, it would be great if he showed up here, but he could be watching for all I know. But there was someone that kind of loosely implied that I had stolen his idea for a B chord, an open B chord, from his video. And he said, "Did you see my video? Is that why you taught that?" And I mean, I clicked on him. I looked at the video. I looked at his, I've never seen, I don't remember ever watching it. I could have. There's that chance. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. I have 700 of them now or something. So, so I have like, I'd rather make a video than watch a video. Let's put it that way. And the chord was talking about with he did a video on, I'm not sure how long ago, was like if you take an E chord, move it down to the bottom 3 strings, and then add your pinky to here, but you have to mute the G string. And basically, it's an awful B chord. It's really not very useful. I wouldn't use it. But what I'm pretty sure what I did was, if you just take every string on the guitar, every chord that you play, open chord you play, is that the lowest note that you can play that chord. Like, for example, a C chord is played where it has C, E, G. So where's the lowest C or where's the lowest C or E or G on each string? And you end up with this chord. Every one of these chords that you play here, E is a perfect example of that. That's the lowest E you can play on the E string. This is the lowest B E, B, or G sharp. This is the lowest. And so it was, by just doing that, like, what's the lowest chord? And you could do it this way, and here would be the B. But then you open, and then you can't get the F sharp, so it'd be a 5-finger chord, and even as a 4-finger chord, it's not very good. It's not a very good piece. But anyway, so he said, I think he was asking me, did I steal it from him? But he didn't say that. He said, "Did you see my video?" And I said, "I don't think so. I probably came up with it, from just teaching for 35 years." And he goes, and then he went and said, "Well, when you did the video," then he replied again and said, "When you did the video in 2012, you didn't include that chord. So what's changed?" Essentially, he's kind of, again, trying to get me to say, "Oh yeah, I saw your video and I stole it, and ergo I owe you a royalty for a chord." I'm not sure what he was asking. And even on his channel, he hadn't done a video in 2 years, and he had 300 something subscribers. So the chance of me ever seeing his video was really, really slim. But there was maybe a chance that when I was researching, if I researched how to play a B chord, his video could have come up. But I don't know. I don't remember even doing that. So, when he pointed out the whole, well, you didn't do it in this video back when you did the B video in 2012, but you did it in this video in 2018 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I saw it, Bob Dylan do it or something like that. And then my wife's sitting there and she goes, "Don't engage." And I went, "Oh, okay." I deleted it. I deleted the comment almost immediately, right? Oh, Alan's got a question. Okay, I'll keep tabs on that. No, I was not. Yeah, I see your comment, Bacco. Yeah, we can show that. He didn't ask for any. He didn't come out and say anything. I just had to stop engaging him. So I hid him from my channel, which I think what that does is he can leave comments, but they don't show up. Nobody else sees them but him. So it leaves him with the impression that he's actually making a comment. But I won't even see it, which is a good thing, because it kind of just makes me feel like weird, like, what is he accusing me of, and why am I engaging this guy that clearly, like, he keeps wanting to amp it up? So I deleted that comment because Beth, like, literally, it had to have been within moments, maybe half an hour. But then he commented again. It had this weird, like, code, and he said, "Well, you just contradicted yourself from your previous comment." And I'm like, "I just said, huh?" And he goes, "I did a screenshot of your comment that you deleted." And I'm like, okay, this is not the kind of person I need to engage with. Some guy in Ontario, Canada, who clearly, he has an axe to grind with me. But I'm like, I don't care. I'm not making any money on that video. It's not like there's anything he can get from me, So, if he is looking for money, then he's not going to get any, because you can't copyright a chord. You can't copyright a way to play a chord. I think the way I saw it actually on since then, today, I was even doing some research on it. And I saw it on some other forums, and the way they came about it was they didn't say, "Hey, I saw this guy on YouTube do this." They said, "If you take the lowest note, on the chord." So anyway, yeah. So it's stupid. I know. I'm like, it just makes me feel weird. I hate hiding people, and it was funny because I went to I was Googling, what happens when you hide somebody, and I saw, and there was a link, and I clicked on it, and it showed all the people that I've hidden. I didn't realize I've hidden that many people, but maybe people that were really snarky, or I'm not snarky. That doesn't bother me. It's the people that say horrible things that I just like, nope, not going to happen. So you can just make all the comments you want. So Canadians are so, yeah, I know. My friend Andrew Gerard is the nicest guy. He says sorry all the time for things he didn't do. What did Beppe say? Ciao, everyone. Beppe, hello, Beppe. Right, exactly. Well, and the other thing is, I told you this the other day, I started using the thing like G5, A5, B5 for power chords because I got tired of writing G no third, G in parentheses, no third. I didn't do air quotes. You can't take a sip. I didn't use air quotes, everyone. That's a drinking rule game. That's our drinking game. That's one of the rules. If I use air quotes, you all get to take a sip. So, yeah, Peter's wife is Canadian. They're nice. Well, I hope so. Now we sip. AJ's right. That's right. What did AJ say? Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a beef with anybody. And like I said, anytime somebody said something snarky, if they really hate the way I teach, I usually comment something to the effect, well, I hope you find someone on YouTube you really like, because there are a lot better teachers out there than me. So, and sometimes I get a reply. I said, no, your video is fine. I just felt like you talked too much. It's like, duh. I should name my channel "I'm Talking Too Much" or something like that, because then I could just, like, people would say you're not talking enough. Anyway, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm the first one I ever noticed using the phrase, the chord diagram, like G5 and all that. So I just started using it with students, and I'm saying, okay, instead of writing G no third, here, G5, that means G and a fifth. It's a power chord. And students knew it. And then pretty soon I'm doing charts for things, and I'm writing those out. And I'd have musicians sometimes go, well, what's G5? And I go, that's a root of fifth, power chord. And they go, oh, okay, that makes sense, And then now I see it all the time, and it's like, do I claim that I invented the 5 chord? It's like, that would be the most ridiculous thing to claim. But the same thing with the 2 chord. I hated writing out D, not quotes, parentheses, parenthetical, add 9 or add 2. I always hated that. I'm like, I'm just going to call it a D2 chord here, and I'm teaching students, and I'm telling them it's called a D2 chord. And somewhere I saw the triangle for major on a chart, and I just said, well, that makes sense. So that's what I started using, but I don't claim that it's mine. So I don't know what this guy, I'm not going to say the guy's name. I wish him the best. I wish him great success. Sometimes, I had a neighbor one time get mad at me in our building, and we were managing, and he just sat around all day playing video games. And he was mad at me because he was an ex-student of mine, and he moved into the building, which I determined later was kind of always a bad idea. And his guitar playing never went anywhere because he didn't really practice very much. And he got mad at me. He says, "You're lucky. I'm just really upset that you get to play guitar for a living." And I'm like, what? You sit around and play video games all day long. I literally practiced 8 hours a day for 20 years. So I'm not exactly sure what you expect to be the outcome of not picking up your guitar and then envying someone for it's like me going up to, me going up to Tom Brady and saying, man, you're so lucky you get to play football for a living. That sucks. I hate you. Well, a lot of people hate Tom Brady. That may be why. Yeah, air quotes again, Tom chats. Exactly, Leo. Let's see. Let me get some of these Leo's going all caps on me here. The Tom Command Sips. Gary is the purveyor of that. Status thine involvement with Apex Legend without a sip. So we okay. Thanks for sharing, Tom. Let's see. Now I don't know if because hid user, again, I don't think that means he can't see my channel or he can't, or certainly could go on here. I think Kathy, we can, like, I don't want to be careful here. Remove, put user in timeout, hide user. Yeah, so I think he probably couldn't, because there's a thing here that says hide user from channel, so he probably couldn't live chat if he were watching. He's probably screaming at the screen right now. And it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't, but let's see, what else do we have here? Yes, a boot. Yeah, no, Andrew says a boot. Andrew, you're not there, are you? He cracks me up. He says a boot, and it's funny because it's like, okay, that would be funny if you said the word about every now and then, but somehow the word about works into about every other sentence he says. So it's like Canadians are trying to point out that difference, the accent. Yeah, Zen, thank you. And it's just, I don't know what it is. It almost ruins my day, and I'll lose sleep over stuff like this. Like, because it's usually because how someone perceives me, and that's like the stupid. In fact, I just saw a great quote from. Oh yeah, it was a great quote from C.S. Lewis. You are who you believe you are. And it's like, yeah, don't be who don't be the person other people think you are, because I'm not, I'm certainly not as nice as you all think I am. I'm not as good a guitar player as you all think I am. I guarantee you that. See, Kimberly thinks I'm a nice guy, but yeah, a boot is for Canadians what like is for Californians. Exactly, David. Let's see. Back again. I'm so glad I found your channel. You got me to pull out my fave guitar and to play it after sitting in the closet. Your guitar was sitting in the closet, not you, right, Baco? Baco Cat. Let's see. Now, it's funny, Baco Cat, when I was looking through my list of hidden users, your name didn't come up, but a similar name came up, and I was wondering, I wonder if that's the same Baco Cat. Why would I hide him? But, somebody could have said something weird, and it was... But I don't think you've ever been hidden from one of my channels. You've had the same handle this whole time, right? Have you ever had any other handles? Boot and other things, the same. Well, where they also say a boot in Michigan and parts of Michigan, I know, especially Upper Peninsula, which might as well be Canada. I'm shocked the Canadians haven't just taken the UP, as they call it in Michigan. The other thing they say in Michigan that they don't say anywhere else that I remember is they say pop or soda pop instead of cola or Coca-Cola or soda. They say soda pop. I haven't heard that term in a long time. Anybody remember that soda that was the wrong color of what it was? Like, if it was grape, it would be red, and if it was strawberry, it would be blue, and if it was cola, it would be clear. It was weird. It was a funny cola. It was like, it didn't really catch on. I don't really understand. I have a vague memory of it maybe having like a red and white label or something like that. But yes, there's a big Scandinavian heritage. Oh wait, Happy Socks XO. What are people think of you as none? That's right. Yeah, that's 100% true. What other people think of you is none of your business. You're right. It's none of my business what you think of me. I really don't want to know, to be honest. Although I do love the Strokes. I told you I don't do this for you guys. I do it for me. Anyway, Pepsi Clear is not what it was, AJ, but that was another one that was weird. It was like, that didn't catch on. No, it was a weird soda that it was the wrong color from what it was. It's like supposed to fool. It would be like great for one time, like to fool a friend. Oh, here, you want some orange soda, and you drink it. It's like, well, that's not orange. That's great. Because none of the flavoring comes from the coloring. So, oh, you said, yeah, Coke is what I would say. Hey, give me a Coke. And they go, we have Pepsi. And I'm like, that's fine. You knew what I meant. They call it a tonic in the Northeast. Interesting. Okay. Annexation. Yeah, Bruce is like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. There was a talk about California annexing Baja California at some point. Not annexing, but taking it over, which would have been interesting if that had happened. Or buying it or something. I don't know. That's a lot of coastline in Baja California. So let's see. Yeah, see, David, you remember that, don't you? It was like a stupid marketing thing. The wrong colored coda, wrong colored coda, wrong colored soda. Um, do you say bubbler or water fountain? No, we say water fountain. I've never even heard the term bubbler, but I never heard the term busking until this year or last year. And everybody's like, "What do you mean?" I've been a busker, and I didn't know. I'd never heard it that term before. It was so funny. I got grilled. I got hammered on that one. It's like I don't know. I'm hanging out in the wrong crowds. I mean, I've been to London. I've seen buskers all over the place. I see them. I just didn't know that's what you call them. I didn't ever go up to one of them and say, "Hey, what do I call you?" Let's see. Oh man, you picked up a used Helix. Oh yeah, that's a great. Yeah, Helix is insane fun. You'll have a blast with that. I don't have one, but Imbrew. Uh, oh, that was funny because they were having a contest to name the coffee shop at our church, and somebody said Hebrews. They ended up calling it Pillars because there was a bunch of pillars at the church, so they call it Pillars. But Hubba Bubba Soda. Let me look it up. You're right. That sounds right. You were just on Google. Hubba Bubba Soda. That was bubblegum soda. Yeah. Images. No, it wasn't that. Soda. I don't know what the wrong colored soda. I mean, what do you Google for this? I don't even know how to ask the question. That's like you're like a Google master if you know how to ask the right question and get it. I'm just people are posting sodas. Oh wait, what's this? Jones. No, Jones is good soda though. But what was it? It was old. It was in the 70s. It was in the 70s. They would, yeah, flavor. Yeah. Hebrews was a beer. At least it was for 6 months. Hebrews. That's funny. Um, I came up with my name my entry for was bean there scone that. Stupid. I tried to come up with the stupidest name. I was just trying to make people laugh. And so I came up with you should call it bean there scone that. Oh my gosh. Cream soda over ice cream Bonnie is really good. Over vanilla ice cream in particular, I think. But some people do chocolate ice cream with that too. Um, yeah, you do have a lot of coastline in Vermont. Also, those Finger Lakes, like my daughter was just on, it's called Beaver Lake in Arkansas, and it's one of those reservoir lakes. It just is like this. And the coastline is like 10,000 miles of coastline or something on those crazy lakes. The Lake of the Ozarks is the same way. Fana is a classic. Shasta's classic. Let's see. Oh, our bloomer is asking me an actual question. Yes, very good. E7, A7, B7 is the same is the 145 in E, and A7, D7, E7 is the 145 and in A. And yes, Art, you can do this with any chord progression. Well, not chord progression. I think you mean any key. Yes. So what you do is you start on the one. Say if it's F, you count up 4 scale tones in the key of F. So you have F, G, A, B flat. That's the 4 chord. B flat 7 would be the 4, and then the 5 chord is C, the 5th. So F, A, G. I'm sorry. F, G, A, B flat's the 4, C is the 5. So you can do that in any key. Just start on the tonic, and that's 1. And then you need to use the formula. And you remember, some of you may remember the formula for major scales: whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Shasta, I think, was a soda though too. Now you're talking. But let's see. Oh, Pepe said in Italy the internet has COVID-19. I've almost gained my COVID-19. Let's see. Elixir of morning happiness. That's what this. Yeah, right. Yeah, happiness in a cup. Have have a nice big cup of not hitting my kids in the morning. That's what that is. Oh, I never hit my kids. Mellow yellow. No, that's not it. No, it was actually a whole bunch. It was like a whole product release, and they had probably 8 different colas, and they were all the wrong color. Um, and I just tried to Google it, but can you make a? Oh, Alan Z is asking, can you make 7 chord as a power chord, a 7th chord as a power chord? Not really. I mean, what I might do for that is you could do. I have to. I'm not plugged in. Yeah, I don't want to plug in right now. But like if you did a power chord that was say like the A power chord, which would be 5 7 7 and then X X X. Oh, by the way, the new X record came out. It was really good. It sounded exactly like X. All original members. They were supposed to release it in August, and it came out earlier, just last week, and it seemed like really good. I'm like, dang, that's like a really good record. So if you wanted to, you go 5 7 5 and get that 7. But again, when you add the 3rd or the 7th in a chord, and you have a lot of gain on it, it's going to be there's going to be a lot of overtones there. They're just going to be kind of not so sure. Oh, sorry. Here's the that would be an A7 note, and you'd have to call this A7 no 3rd. I'll tell you one chord that I do use with distortion, but not a lot of gain. Again, the more gain you have, the more overtones you. I use like this one a lot, which I use as I love the sound of this. I love even just the dyad of the root and the 3rd. Here's 5 4 X X X. Wait, how many strings do I have? I got 6 strings. Okay, there we go. And that would be an A chord as an A in a C sharp. So that's basically an A major chord. But then I also like to put the E, the C sharp or the 3rd on the 3rd string as well. So that would be 5 4 X 6 X X, and that's also A. I love it. And that sounds okay with distortion. It's one of the few times you can actually have a 3rd in there. Because if I go like that full chord with lots of distortion, or even just hit that, the overtones just get kind of crazy. And the overtones are, if you're wondering, like you got E here at the 12th fret, you got another E, and at the 7th fret, you've got a B octave, an octave above, and then another E, and then you've got a G7. A G sharp. Then you got a B kind of, and then you got like a D there. And technically, all those can be heard very micro, very, very quiet. With even when I hit up just a single note, those overtones are there, but it gets drowned out by the sound of the open string. But when you play through an amp or through a lot of gain, it really brings out the overtones. Certain pedals bring out overtones more. So like there's even pedals you could turn on where you have to avoid certain chords because you like fuzz pedals especially. So yeah, I really like that chord a lot. And you could do the minor version of it, like an A minor would be 5 3 X 5 X X. And, like I said, I use it a lot at church right now, but I've used it in songs. But like stuff I want to go. It's got a really good pop sound. I've used it on some pop records because it really emphasizes that 3rd instead of the power chord. The other power chord I like to use, but it's not a 7th one, is I call it the super power chord. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the 5th up an octave. So that you have root, 5th, and root. I'm going root, root, 5th. So it gets less muddy, but you can really it's like one of those ones you might want to bring into the song. And then go to the 3rd one. And then, the 10th time you do that, you can go into power. Just keep bringing the top note up. It's, of course, easier on electric guitar, but you get the idea. And probably all distorting. So the superpower chord, the A one would be like, and again, I invented this. I never saw anyone do it. So I own the rights to this. So you got to pay me a royalty if you're going to use this. Oh, gosh. If that guy is watching right now, he's throwing stuff at the screen. Okay. Yeah, Alan, that's a really, really fun chord voicing. I like it. Yep, you got it, Verdi. Yep. Oh, were you guys answering? Thank you so much for doing that. Which chord? Yeah, have fun with that one. I love doing it, and it's a blast. Another thing I like to do too, if I'm working on a pop record or writing a pop song or whatever, is to move the middle voice around. So like say on D. Where you move the middle voice around within the key. That's kind of fun too. Alan, let's see. Oh, the smell of cedar is great, Pepper. We're on all sorts of things. Oh, sorry. Old man, did you get? Yeah, and I'm not sure how far we can go on that, Zen. We're being strict. I'm sorry. I am not. I do not say this is for children. You before I go live, I have to say, is it for children or is it not for children? The thing is, if it's for children, you're clearly marketing it to children. Well, there's nothing about what I'm talking about that is geared for children. So it's not a situation where I'm trying to say, I'm not saying, oh yeah, children can watch this, because they could. But that's one of the things I have to answer when I first go live. You didn't get put in your place then. That's all right. Discord, anything goes, I think, right? We're not. Are you moderating it all in Discord, you guys? I don't know. You guys are also helpful to each other, though. It doesn't, you understand, and Nana is here. You were, Verdi, you're gonna have to sip on yourself because you had a weird tuning. Yeah, so yeah, so it's weird because when I end the stream, and then it's processing, whatever that means. Okay, so it's going through its processing thing. When it's doing that, in that processing period, it says limited advertisers. Well, it's funny because when I pull up the video one time to look at it, it had an advertisement for a shoe company and something else. And I'm like, well, I'd rather have shoe company ads than other guitar teachers trying to steal my YouTube subscribers. I mean, I don't care if they're paying for it. I should pay at some point. I should probably pay some money and do some advertising. But I feel like I'm just inviting trouble at that point. I want people to find me, and if they subscribe, it's because they like me, like all you guys do. I know you love me. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's see. Yes, you need to build your calluses. Like I said in my first video, if you're not around a guitar, you can always dig your thumbnail into your calluses and kind of keep toughing them up, even if they hurt a little bit. The funny thing is my calluses are very, very, very soft now. My skin has almost learned to grow harder skin without it being hard, like fingernail hard. And I remember back when I was younger, it would get really hard, and then it would start to come off, and then you'd have the callus would come off, and you have a really raw finger. It would be red and everything, and that was always a drag. Fingers haven't done that in a long time. Ben, yo, what's up, Ben Bird? Andrew Bird. Andrew Bird's a really good artist. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. He's great. How do I not get blisters on my fingers? Okay, well, that's one of the things you will get blisters on your fingers. I get blisters on my fingers when I'm I have a couple composers I work for. They'll have me play bass on the games mostly, and sometimes it'll be 120 cues or something like that. So I'm playing bass a lot for days, and boy, do I get blisters right here. And if I kept playing, they would go away. They would just become calluses. So you're going to have blisters. But one of the things you can do is if you're not picking up a guitar every day, because you can't for whatever reason, then go ahead and just kind of dig your thumbnail into your calluses, into your fingertips. Just kind of toughen them up a little bit. I know it hurts. But blisters eventually. I always get. I mean, you all know that. Like if you go to the beach and you throw a frisbee for the day, you get that blister right here. It's like the worst. It's like, dang it, ow. Why did I play frisbee? But it's not like you're going to play frisbee every day and have a callus right there. So it's just that. So you just have to play. Okay. Let's see. All right, what are we talking, Peter? I got blisters on my fingers. Yeah, was that John Lennon that said that? For some reason, I always thought it was Ringo. I got blisters on my fingers. I do the worst British accent. I do the worst accent. I just do the worst accents. Oh, what kind of bass do I have? Well, I have several basses. I have a Fender. I have a Mexican Fender J bass, 4-string. I got a Squire. This is the one here. This is a Squire. Hey, you can take a sip now because I'm changing. So this is a Squire 5-string, and actually a composer bought this for me because he kept writing notes down here that you can't really tune a 4-string down to B. It's just not going to work. So unless you change the string gauge, but they're just going to be too loose and out of tune, you can't really play. So he bought me this so that I just, he just said, go buy a bass and I'll pay you back for it. And I didn't go crazy. I wasn't going to buy a $2,000 bass. I think I paid $350 for this. In fact, I literally, they had it marked down at Guitar Center. And I mean, again, it's for movies and games and stuff. It was, I do a lot of playing on games, and I'll play with a pick or with fingers either. But I literally kind of grabbed a couple 5-strings, plugged them into an amp. I had my daughter with me, and the guy, I went, I got this one, and I was like, yeah, this is totally fine. It's fine, it'll work. And so the guy came up to me and said, can I help you? I said, I'll take this. And he went, easiest sale ever. And he goes, now you saw it fell, right? And I go, oh, did it? Is that why it's marked down? He goes, yeah. I said, well, what's wrong with it? He goes, look at this. It totally got something, landed on something. It's just like I'm like, why would you have an operating chainsaw? It's just sitting on the floor in Guitar Center. And then even the top is like cracked and everything. It's like, I don't care. It's not going to affect the tone at all. So I got a good deal on it. So my goal was for my composer friend Austin to not have to pay too much for a bass and to be able to keep going. Let's see. All right, we've got someone that keeps saying their name. Let's see. Where are we? All right. So what? Okay. I almost bought a bass. Oh, you almost bought a bass from Sam Ash. I need to get a fretless bass. You saw my fretless ukulele. I want to get a fretless bass. I was looking at some of those because I'm just getting into that for some reason. I'm really digging the fretless, especially for sound effects. I can do so much stuff with it, but I'm also on the hunt for a cheap nylon guitar with a pickup in it that I can have the frets taken out, and they'll put it in the marker so I can find everything. Yeah, it might be a troll. Yeah, I think so. You're right, Kathy. I'm in serious need of attention. Hey, I'm just saying my name over and over again. So, let's see. Ibanez has a great fretless bass. Oh, you know what? I'll look into that. I don't have to have a Fender. I just naturally go, oh, I'll get a Fender. Actually, my neighbor Jorge, who's in the Nortec collective, I borrowed his Yamaha fretless bass, and it was totally fine. The only thing, the electronics were jacked up, so it wasn't quite working the way it should have been. Yeah, get your walk in, Ed. I already got, how many steps did I get already? Beth and I went for a walk, and, shoot, 9,300 steps. So not bad. I'll see you tomorrow, Ed. We're going to continue on this. Maybe we'll do the Sesame Street. Who was it saying is the Sesame Street? That was Dennis. Oh, Dennis, you're right there. You'll be in our thoughts, Kathy. Wait, what? Oh, Leon. What did Bacco say? Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to catch up. You guys are going so fast. Oh, okay, Bacco, you're saying off topic, but did you ever know Fred Wilecki, owner of a music store in Santa Monica? Nicest guy. Bought some great guitars from him. Fred Wilecki. What was the name of the store? Do you remember? There was a store in Santa. Well, I mean, True Tone is still there. I've been to True Tone. I don't think I've ever bought anything other than a pedal from True Tone. I'm not like. I got amps, but I don't know. I try to get good deals on everything. It's hard to get deals at like True Tone. Also, a great place in Santa Monica is McCabe's. I saw. I'll tell. Okay, I'll give you a story. Where is Diane? Is she still around? You want to hear a story? Again, I feel like I'm just doing this like name drop, name drop, name drop, name drop. But this is a weird one, but. It's not weird, but it's just funny. Yeah. So yeah, my fretless ukulele. I mean, did you hear that? Have you heard that yet, Becca Cat? Did you hear my fretless ukulele? I think it sounds amazing. Let me tune it real quick. And I've got a low string on the bottom, so I don't. It's not my dog has fleas. It's my dog has fleas. It goes low to high. Oh, I can't. So it's a little flat. Now the only thing I'm only bummed about, like I bought that Martin ukulele, and it was not cheap, but not expensive. But I just don't like it, the 1-to-1 gear ratio on these ukuleles. I'd rather have real geared tuners. So I bought this to kind of just be, I got a deal on this, and then I had my guitar tech take the frets out and put markers in there. So you can see the markers, you can still, it looks like it has frets, but it's not, it's completely flat. I don't know if you can see that, but there's no frets. He did an amazing job. Really good job. And my intention was to kind of get an oud sound, but then I realized I could also get a koto sound. Right. Isn't that cool? I love that thing. So I know I'm going to put you. I've already showed it to a couple composers, and they've already said, "Oh, we're going to be writing for that." So that's perfect. That's why I did it, was to give my composers that I work for a lot more tools to write for, voices to write for, things to write with. So, all right, now I'm touching my face because my nose itches. So everybody take a sip. If I touch my face. So Diane's here. Okay, so she wants a story. No, this was just a short one for the most part. Well, actually, it's pretty funny because Beth and I and our friends Brad and Margie went to McCabe's because they would do shows in the back room, and it was a room that they had a bunch of guitars in, hanging on the walls and everything. And they would set up chairs. I think you're looking at maybe 8 rows of 8 chairs or something like that. Maybe it was 8 rows of 6 and 6 because there was like a middle aisle. Maybe that's right. So what would that be? 6, 12 times 8 is what is that? 96. So not 100 people. There's no way. And Maria McKee, who was the lead singer of the group. Oh, dang it. What was her group that she was? Back in the early 90s and late 80s and early 90s, there was a kind of a resurgence in cowboy and Western music in LA and coffee shops and things like that. Maria McKee, now I got to look it up because it's going to drive me crazy. And I'm still trying to find that wrong colored soda, whatever the heck that was. Somebody thinks of it, let me know. Let's see. Maria McKee. Oh, Lone Justice. I thought of it before looking. So she was in a band called Lone Justice and really liked the Lone Justice record. A couple of records are really, really good. And so, but she was performing basically with a guitar player, just the two of them. So we went to the show, and she was getting ready to tour with U2. She was going to warm up U2, which is interesting. But they were getting ready to do the the Joshua Tree tour, and so she was going to do some of the West Coast dates. And so we get to the show, and Brad and I are sitting next to each other, and Beth and Margie are sitting next to each other, and we're just sitting there. And I tell Brad, I said, you know who could show up here is, U2. They could totally show up at the show to support her because she's touring with them. And he goes, oh, that could happen, and I'm like, you never know, right? And so the place was full. The place was full, and except for the front row to the left, those, like, there were 5 seats or so empty, and the lights went down, and everybody thought that the show was getting ready to start. So we were like, oh yeah, like that. But no, there was just some shuffling around, and then the lights came back up. I'm like, oh well, false alarm. Okay. And I look in where that front row was, and there are people sitting there now, and I'm like going, hey Brad, let's tell Beth and Margie that that's U2 sitting in the front row. And he goes, okay, let's do it. Hey guys, look who's sitting in the front row. It's U2. And we're just messing around. We're just joking. All of a sudden, we're like, I'm just staring at him like, wait a minute. There's a guy, the guy in the hat. Wait, and the guy in the hat looks over to the guy next to him, and I could tell it was the edge. It was his nose. And the guy next to him looks, and I go, oh my God, that's Bono. They were sitting in the front row. So now, like, we're watching this show, but the whole time we're watching U2 watch Maria McKee. It was hilarious. And then, so what happened was that, like, we didn't know when the last song was going to be, and they did. And so, like, right as that last song ended, they got up and ran out. And so Brad and I got up, and we're like following them, and we get out there, and they all got into their cars, and they all drove up. I remember the bass player had a Jeep Laredo, and with everything down, and people were like, waving at them, and they're waving at people. It was just really funny. So you're not typing. Are you typing and I'm not seeing it? Oh, glug. People are Bruce is self-moderating. Oh, the group was Lone Justice was the name of the group that Maria McKee, Lone Justice. And like I said, kind of a cowboy. There was that thing was kind of going on in LA at the time, and that was the band that I had with Brad, with Beth and with Brad and a couple other guys. We kind of had a Lone Justice U2 kind of vibe to us anyway, so it fit. It was made sense for us. In some ways, I feel like it was a good call to have, especially if you listen to Joshua Tree. It does kind of have that California vibe to it, and that's the name. So, but I'm not usually good at recognizing faces, but boy, did I, it was like I called it there. So let's see. Yeah, right. I remember musical celebrities. That's not true either, Peter. I think there were times where if I, I don't know, maybe not. It'd be hard. I mean, I think I would recognize if I sat next to say Eric Johnson on an airplane, I would know who it was, or Keith Richards or Mick Jagger. I did share a flight with. We didn't talk to him or anything, but I flew from Europe with. Oh shoot. Clooney's son. Dang it. George Clooney. There you go. I sat on a flight with George Clooney. So, but they weren't, I don't know where they were. We were in business class, but he was in first class. So well, here's what's crazy, Bob. I just saw Jackson Browne at the Hi-Hat in Highland Park. There's a little bar in Highland Park, and Billie Eilish did like her first gig there ever back in the day. Not in the day, back just a few years ago. But I saw just a couple of years ago, I saw Jackson Browne I think it was $10 to get in. And I mean, it wasn't like he's on. He was just wanted to play. He just wanted to do a show, and it was like unannounced or something. But my son knew because my son's friends with his pedal steel player, I think, or lap steel player. So he was like, "Hey, come out to Hi-Hat and go see." So we went to the Hi-Hat, and it was great. And I actually talked to him afterwards because his acoustic guitar sounded freaking amazing. In fact, I took a picture of his setup. I need to try to find that because I don't play acoustic guitar very live, but it would be great to find that. It was just, I'm trying to remember the setup he had, but I took a picture of it so that I could remember. I didn't take a picture of him, I don't think, but I did take a picture of his setup. So I'll have to look through my photos. If I find it, I'll post it on the Discord, which, by the way, here's the Discord address. I can't believe there's so many people staying on right now just for me chitting and chatting. It sounded like I said something else. I'm gonna get a takedown notice. Yeah, I mean, if you saw Jackson Brown in the 70s, that was a big deal because he was big back then, With Jack Palance, that's awesome. Actually, was at a restaurant, but I didn't recognize him with James Taylor. I didn't know he's bald. It was like I wasn't expecting that for some reason. So it was like somebody said, "Hey, that's James Taylor over there." But I was actually playing in Pittsburgh. I was in Pittsburgh, and he was playing that night at something, and I was doing a clinic there. And one of the other clinicians said, "Hey, that's James Taylor." And if Beth had been with me, I would have definitely gotten his autograph because she loves James Taylor. In fact, I got to go see him. It's one of those people. I got to take Beth to see him. That's because my friend Luis plays with him, and his guitar player. What's his guitar player's name? He's a really good session guitar player. Who's shoot, now I gotta Google this. Sometimes it's oh, it's cool. Oh, this is okay. Yeah, sometimes Steve Gadd. The guitar player is almost Steve Jordan's done it. Lee Sklar, of course, but I think it's Michael Landau. Dang it, he's a great, and Russ Kunkel, of course, was the original Danny Korchmar. But the one I'm thinking of, yeah, it's the band that I'm thinking of is Michael Landau, and Jimmy Johnson on bass, I think. I don't see his name here. Wada Wachtel played with him a lot too. Willie Weeks on bass. I'm not seeing the bass player I was expecting to see. But Steve Gadd is done, and then is Luis here? I don't see Luis here, so they're not. Luis has played with him for years, and Luis is a great percussionist. I love playing with Luis. And did I enter the Discord thing? Oh, I did. Okay. Still. Oh, you're still working the 12-bar blues as we watch. Good. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Really, and then was it Helen that was asking, how do you end this? Yeah, you just end on the E chord, end on the 1 chord. I probably should have put that there, but just hit the first chord of the last, and that's what key it's, the key that you're in. Oh, Old Man Zen says he played here with Bonnie Raitt, and I've loved to have seen that show, but it was at the arena, and I can't do those large venues. My dad couldn't do those large venues. The seating, he can't. The fear of heights, he could not do it. He had to be on the floor, or like I got him tickets. We went to go see the Mets and the Dodgers play at Dodger Stadium, and I knew he had a fear of heights, so we actually were like right at the kind of at the between the first base and the foul pole, about 40 seats back. So they weren't great seats, but at least they were really low, flat pitch. But the Mets fans, we were with a bunch of Mets fans. Oh my gosh, are they crazy? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Baco, I've been to the NAMM show. Taylor Guitars. Oh, that's funny. Well, Baco, we probably stood next to each other because I think I was there too. I saw Taylor Swift do a show before she was anybody at Taylor Guitars. That was weird. But my wife knew her one song, and when she started playing it, I went ahead and called her on the phone and held up the phone long before we had video phones. But Yeah, it's crazy. No, Tim Pierce wasn't touring with James Taylor. No, it's Michael Landau. He's a great guitar player. Michael did some great stuff with John Hyatt. If you're not familiar with John Hyatt, I'll tell you an interesting fact about John Hyatt is he is in the same high school graduating class as David Letterman and Jane Pauley. They all went to, I'm not sure if it was class of 67 or something like that, at Broad Ripple High School in Indianapolis. So I probably am not going to search that. I'm very cautious about what I search for. Let's see, playing acoustic guitars. Oh yeah, that would have been really fun. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it seems like I saw Bad Company. Was it Bad? I can't remember now. But that's funny. Baco and I were probably at the NAMM show at the same time. All Things Taylor. Yeah, we could call this All Things Taylor. Yeah, Taylor Swift. Oh, she was. Okay, I did not know that she was named for James Taylor. Well, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. And she's super talented. I've not worked with her, but I did work on a song that she and Justin wrote together that I wish came out, because I replaced Taylor's guitars and did a big giant raging rock guitar solo on it, which I'm like, you don't put rock solos on pop songs anymore. It's not 1983 or 82. Beat it. Anyway, okay. It's already been we're going to get to 2.5 hours without even trying. I'm making up for yesterday, aren't I? Okay. So tomorrow we're going to do some more blues stuff. We're going to probably review. I'm going to have you try to hammer home that blues progression. And then we'll do the Sesame Street version of it. The one of the 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 7, or 5, 6, 7, 6. Okay. And Paul, thank you so much. Paul, we went over some of this stuff back in the day. I'm sure of it. We need to bring back 1983. Well, in a lot of ways, I could see that would not be a bad thing at all. I do go to the NAMM show every year. I sometimes go to the concerts. You do see a lot of amazing players at the NAMM show. I mostly am there to meet manufacturers that I work with. My son works the show now. He's done 2 or 3 years in a row. He works at the Voodoo Lab booth. And so I'll hang out with him and go see it's mostly, for me, it's like a family reunion. I just go to see friends that I never see anymore. I'm going to try to get David in. David, we're going to try to get you into the NAMM show next year, okay? Now, my thing is, I bet you they're going to cut way back on how they give out badges. So I may not be able to get badges next year. I think they will probably really try to make the show a lot smaller, because I wouldn't be surprised if, because there's a huge Chinese contingency at the NAMM show. And they may have not knowingly be bringing, because they determined that the first death in California from COVID was actually January 12th. They exhumed somebody's body and did a test, and sure enough, they had it. So they died on January 12th. So the NAMM show was after that. So I guarantee you there were people at the NAMM show that had the coronavirus. And like I said, there's a huge Chinese contingency there because it's manufacturers. And so many of the manufacturers are based in China. And there's also the Chinese will have booths just to say, hey, we have a factory that can make things for you. So if you want to make something here, use our factory. So they will even have just booths like that and products that, here, this is what we made. So that's probably the number one, outside of maybe Germany and Canada, the number one represented nationality at the NAMM show. So I would not be surprised at all if it was spread all over the NAMM show. Let's see what else. Yeah, we'll talk, David, about that. Okay, it's not impossible for me to get them. I have a limited resource, and and I have people I have to get them for. But yes, in honor of our Quebec friends, merci beaucoup. And I say it like that, and I think I got this French thing down, and the Parisians just look at me and go, "You're very welcome." So anyway, Kathy, we'll talk to you. Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow, Lord willing, and we'll do more of this blues thing. Okay, bye-bye.